Hi, I'm Linz. Welcome to Becoming Everwell, a channel where we talk about the ongoing journey of becoming. I'm a former high school English teacher who believes that an education extends far beyond academics, and I write stories about the small, sacred moments of clarity that come about in the pockets of life. Today's piece begins to answer the question, why put yourself out there as a writer in such a critical world? I make sense of life by writing about real everyday stuff that makes us who we are. Some of these snapshots are fun, some are more serious. Maybe they'll open up something in you too. Let's grow. I recently felt belittled by someone who pointedly chastised the genre and context of my writing, which is personal narrative for public consumption. And although the lash stung, it's gotten me curious to probe deeper with my own purpose as a writer. Like a challenge set forth from one corner of my psyche to another, I've been wondering why I publish what I write. And while I've been dueling it out internally, I've just kept writing. I subscribe to Dory's mantra. You know Dory, the lovable blue tang fish from Finding Nemo and Finding Dory? Her mantra is to just keep swimming. Now, Dory's got a sunny disposition and some personal struggles. So her mantra evokes a sense of perseverance despite the challenges. And in every writer circle I've known, the advice for writers who face self-doubt, writer's block, personal setbacks, or anything like that is to just keep writing. Keep the muscles strong, regardless of what comes of it. If that means literally writing blah, blah, blah on the page, then you write blah, blah, blah on the page. Just keep writing. The idea is that you write because writing will carry you through life's dissonance. Writing is not the problem, so writing need not be the scapegoat. Likewise, something of value eventually will come out of the writing. If you don't write, the certain outcome is that nothing of value will come of it. Now, writing is my thing, my creative and spiritual outlet, and that might speak to you too, but it might not be your thing. Your thing might be gardening or singing or knitting or running or reading or painting or cooking or something else. But for me, as an alive person, I must write. From my vantage point, life isn't life without access to a keyboard and a Word document. Writing for me is as necessary as eating and laughing. I make sense of my thoughts by writing into them. I untangle my confusions by writing within them. I figure out my feelings by writing about them. I heal my hurts by writing through them. If given the chance, I write before I speak. Words are my favorite material with which to play. And as an avid reader, I value the outcome of writers' efforts. I can't say that I live to write, but I can say that I write so that I live with more ease in my inner world. So that explains why I write in the first place. I'm simply designed in a way that enjoys and needs to write. But still, that doesn't explain why I share my writing with an audience. Why, in a culture that tends to default more toward criticism and judgment than toward support and acceptance, why would I put myself out there as a writer about vulnerable personal topics? This conversation is a beginning, a starting point for this inquiry of why. Why be vulnerable when there's always an opportunity to keep to oneself? Why share one's writing with an audience? Why write it all? And why publish to a place like Substack? And just as I'm asking these questions to myself, I invite you to ask similar questions to yourself. Name the why you're interested in figuring out for yourself. Take your time to come up with it. Then move alongside this path with me. So the intended audience for this conversation is threefold. First, it's for the writers among us. Personally, I know a lot of writers, beautiful souls, who put their thoughts out into the world for consumption. Sorry, I'm a little distracted because my sweet blind dog is wandering around here and I just want to make sure she doesn't get close to the fire. So, sorry, let me go back. I am writing this piece in part for you, my dear writing counterparts, so that we may work in tandem to articulate our respective whys in this craft. Second, I'm also writing this piece for the readers among us. We need each other, readers and writers. Many of you, my dear reader friends or viewer friends, have been on this thought journey alongside me for quite some time, and I'm grateful, so grateful for your continued readership, viewership, feedback, and support. And also, some of you are brand new to me. I feel compelled to adequately express to all of you why I show up in your inbox with an essay or a video on being human every week. Likewise, if you're a reader of mine, you're probably attracted to the self-development thread that runs through all of my work. And articulating a value and a personal why takes time. Sure, I could quietly do all this figuring out behind the scenes and then glamorously tell you who I am, why I write, and why it matters. But the truth is, I don't want to mislead you into thinking that I've got it all figured out. I'm a work in progress, just like you. And this is vulnerability in action. So you're invited to observe, reflect, and participate. And finally, I'm writing this for my own inner clarity. I'm a real believer in ever tuning our self-awareness. And as one grows and evolves, we must revisit our whys when it comes to what we value most. And I'm due for a checkup. So here we are. Ultimately, I also want to create a place to revisit my why for when I feel myself wavering at some future point, because I'm sure that my writer self will again be tested. So I'm going to continue this conversation with a few subsequent parts, and I don't yet know when those parts will come and where this series will end up, but I'll get as real can get. So I hope you'll ride along this journey with me. If you want to be the first to be part of all of these reflections, you'll need to subscribe to my Substack, lindsayhurdy.substack.com, and paid subscribers will get to read all of what's real about it, because some of it's so personal that I only want it to be available to the paid subscribers. But as I'm articulating and unearthing my whys, what I really want you to know, I've got 3 goals here. 1, to become a personal narrative writer with clear purpose. And 2 is to deepen my own self-awareness. And 3 is to take you inward with me as a guide. As I figure out why I write about vulnerable aspects of personhood to an audience, I'd love for you to be able to figure out something of value for yourself and why you do it. For now, though, I'm going to pause this line of inquiry. The next few posts here you'll find over the next couple weeks will be about my personal reflections, but this isn't all about me. I want you to ask yourself the question, where are you probing for your own inner knowing? What's the why that you are after? You can message me personally or comment below if you'd like to engage in a dialogue, but I assure you that this is purposeful work for the long run of your growth, your wellness, and your commitment to your personhood. So let's do this together. Let's keep growing. I'm Lindsay Hurdy. You can learn all about me and my offerings on my Substack, as I previously mentioned, lindsayhurdy.substack.com. I'm so glad you're here. Until next time. Be sure to like and subscribe and click that bell to get alerts for new posts. I'd be ever grateful.